Okay, everybody, Boogeyman the Clown here. I'm gonna start doing like little sports podcasts, meaning I am going to start, after games, I'm gonna give my intake of what happens and thoughts and everything. Today's topic: the Cleveland Browns versus Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, if you notice, Mason Rudolph is guilty. Mason Rudolph should have the more punishment. He is not the victim. In a way, Myles Garrett is the victim. Because if you watch the game, Rudolph tried taking, looked like if you watch it in slow motion, you see Rudolph throwing a punch in Garrett's helmet, and you see him rip off Myles Garrett's helmet, attempting to take off the helmet of Myles Garrett. And once Myles Garrett took his helmet off, Rudolph proceeds to punch Myles Garrett, not only punch, but kick Myles Garrett below the belt, not once, but twice. And which is led to believe what led to Myles Garrett swinging Mason Rudolph's helmet into his head. Now, in a way, I support what happened, because you know what? If I was Myles Garrett and Rudolph were to hit me in the nuts, I would have reacted the same way. No man likes getting hit in the nuts, and no man would just sit there and take it getting hit in the nuts. The only reason why nothing happened to Rudolph is because Pittsburgh crybabies were getting their asses handed to them. And the fact is, the refs are conspiring against Cleveland because, there's been multiple questionable calls against Cleveland from past games. But the problem lies is if the NFL does not watch it close enough and see where Rudolph tried to pull Garrett's helmet off, and then where Rudolph punched Garrett in the nards before Garrett even swung Rudolph's helmet at him. If Rudolph never had hit Garrett in the nuts, Garrett would have never swung his thing. And then to the other two Pittsburgh Steelers who then, after all that, tackled Garrett and started punching and kicking him, those two also need to be suspended. Because Garrett only did the helmet swing. They took it a step further by tackling him and punching him. Larry Ogunjobi doesn't deserve nothing because he was only defending his teammate at that point, because he's seen two Pittsburgh Steelers tackle him to the ground and start punching him and kicking him while he was pinned to the ground. So, in all hindsight, Pittsburgh started it because they were butthurt. They were getting their asses kicked. They're mad because they're not the team they once were. So, in reality, Cleveland, Myles Garrett is, maybe a fine, maybe a game or two suspension. Because, he still hit the guy up the head. But you have to think, he was hitting the nuts. He was hitting the fucking nuts. And I'm pretty sure any of the dudes out there, if you were to get hit in the nuts, you would have done the same thing. And don't lie. Whether you're a Steelers fan, Browns fan, Patriots fan, Saints fan, no matter what team you root for, I think we can all agree that if you were playing the great game of football, at this point, once great game, because the refs are now fucking a lot of it up, and some of these new fucking rules fucking up with the game. But I bet if any of you played the great game and if you got hit in the nuts, you would have fucking flipped ape shit too. And don't tell me you wouldn't. Because no man will sit there and take it getting hit in the balls. Because once you deal with the pain, you're going to get up and you're going to fucking go after the person. I don't know a single guy who wouldn't retaliate after getting hit in the balls. And then on another note, someone I know is in jail for bank robbery, I guess, for what I'm hearing. But that's not the point of this. I just think Rudolph needs to get suspended the rest of the year because he instigated. And he needs to be suspended some games next year for the whole punching in the balls. He needs a suspension pending into next year just for hitting Garrett in the balls. And for trying to rip his helmet off. What I saw was clean, and I didn't know nothing about the nuts kicking until someone pointed it out, and I looked at it closer. So, in all hindsight, Rudolph instigated by punching Garrett in the nuts. There you go. Garrett should get a lesser penalty because not only was he hitting the nuts before he swung the helmet, but he was by two other players tackled and punched and kicked by their center and some other player. So because of because of what they did to him afterwards, that punishment should be reduced. Because the NFL wants to talk about pressing criminal charges against him. Well, he should press criminal charges against them for even pushing him to the ground and start kicking him and punching him afterwards. Anywho, I'm going to let y'all go. Until next time, peace.